here in the village of Cockfield, up in the northeast of England, where I'm meeting with Rachel from the YMCA North Tyneside and Teesdale to talk about what goes on here in the community cafe, but also what goes on more broadly across the YMCA across the region. So could you introduce yourself, please, and tell us about your role at YMCA?
So I am Rachel. I am the head of community for YMCA North Tyneside. That means I oversee and manage and support all of our youth and community teams across the northeast, from North Tyneside to Teesdale down to RAF Leeming. A bit about myself: I've been with YMCAs for the last 14 years. I love our organisation, and I think that what we do has a real difference to young people.
So can you tell us a little bit more about the YMCA organisation generally and its vision?
In terms of our vision, we are an organisation that serves our communities to be inclusive so that they are happy, healthy and connected. And we do this through our values of hope, belong, contribute and thrive. To me and to our team, that means that every person should be able to hope for something for themselves, should be able to have a sense of belonging to whatever that is for them. They should have a sense of belonging to something that's more than themselves, be able to contribute to their community, whether that community be a group of people, a place that they live, or whatever it is in their head, whatever that community looks like to them, they should be able to contribute to it. We know the psychological and holistic health benefits to those three values, which allows them to thrive into the best version of themselves that they want to be. That's not what we're telling them to be. That's not what someone else is telling them to be, that they want to be. So yeah, that's a bit about our vision.
Brilliant, thank you. So what do you think are the particular challenges that young people are facing in sort of North Tyneside and Teesdale?
Some of the issues are very similar because they're two very different geographical areas. Some are very similar, some are very different. All of the young people are feeling the effects of the cost of living crisis. They feel the effects of the cost of living crisis in ways where you wouldn't expect it to be seen. So it's not just about going hungry or feeling the cold of the home. They feel the pressure of that their parents are facing. They know the pressures their parents are under. So they go out. They don't stay in the home, so their families don't feel the pressure of having the heating on or them being on the game consoles and running the electricity bill up. Don't feel the pressure to feed them or give them stuff to drink, eat and drink. So they go out. But obviously that opens up a whole other range of issues for them because they're then exposed to potential risk of getting involved in antisocial behaviour, being perceived as being in antisocial behaviour. So just seeing groups of young people around for some communities can be being perceived as being a troublemaker, when actually all they're doing is hanging out on the streets with their friends, which, let's be honest, everybody's done. We see commonalities with alcohol and drugs. Young people are experimenting again. It's something we've seen throughout time in youth work, that it is a normal thing to start experimenting with your alcohol and drugs, but they need to do it in a safe and informed way, which is where the risk lies when they're not doing it in a safe, informed way. We see an increase in vapes. Vapes are an increased issue for young people. Linking back to that antisocial behaviour in North Tyneside, that's very much related to, we know our young people, some of them feel so unsafe that they've made the decision to start carrying weapons. So whether they are carrying concealed blades or diluted acid, ammonia, so bleach-like substances, for fear of their safety. But also as youth workers, we know that statistically, if you carry a weapon, you are more likely to use a weapon. So there's some of the challenges that are very different to North Tyneside that you don't see in Teesdale. But in Teesdale, we equally see the rural issues that our young people face around access to opportunities, the rural isolation that they face because of transport issues that are in rural areas. And that can be very challenging for them to get normal opportunities like going to the cinema, going bowling with your friends, because there's no transport and you're rural and there's nothing near you that can provide that opportunity.
So can you tell us more about your work with the marginalised communities, e.g. sort of refugees, BAME, LGBTQ+?
So we do it in North Tyneside. We run a project that is targeted at BAME women and girls. That project started as a result of a one woman specifically, and that led to a steering group of women coming to us and saying that they were facing very challenging issues around accessing opportunities just for them because of their identity, their faith, and their how integrated they were into our society, their limited English, limited understanding of our transport systems. They were relying on their children or their partners and husbands to take them places, to access support, to access classes, to access food that is culturally sensitive to them. So we responded. We created a project that was led by those women. They named it the Happy Project, and it is a group of women that comes together on a weekly basis, and it is all completely led by them. So it's as simple as, some of them it is working through conversational English, to learning some skills that they can do so they feel empowered to do stuff themselves. So as a cohort of women, they can travel and support each other to travel on their own, understand the metro system, to move around and to empower them to be able to do stuff themselves in their home. So DIY skills, using the computer, without the need of an escort. It also, then they'd learn crafting sessions. They would like to develop a petition to bring halal food to North Shields.
Right.
And they are working out how they do that with their limited English. We've also worked with our gym team in North Shields to create a women's only session that is in a sealed room. So the room has no access window, like windows in, and the door doesn't have a window pane in it, so that they can exercise and look after their physical health in a way that is culturally sensitive to them, so that they're not being looked at by other men, because that is the issue of accessing mainstreams. And they can do it in a safe and secure way with a female instructor. And that's just some of the projects that they've done in North Shields with the Happy Project, and that's all led by them. And that's the beautiful thing about some of these projects, it's led by the people that need it and use it, and we just facilitate that use. It's not about us telling them that they need it. They come to us and we adapt and we adjust and we deliver. In Teesdale, very similarly, we have Pride in Teesdale, which is our work with LGBTQ plus community. Again, it started as a bit of a passion project because we employ a youth and community worker that identifies within that community. And so they understood how it can be challenging to growing up in a rural community where there is little to no understanding about what it's like to be LGBTQ plus. And so we took that project from being one little event in Cockfield to a couple of years later doing pop-up Pride, where we had over 300 people come through at the event in partnership with other local organisations because we couldn't do it by ourselves. We've developed a film that will be launched later this year, which shows of individuals and people's stories around what it's like to grow up in rural Teesdale as a member of the LGBTQ plus community, as well as what support's available and why it's okay to be them, and who they are truly authentically themselves. And there's much more in that, but it's all about creating a safe space for them, so that they can be them in a rural area where they've probably heard all their life very derogatory comments about it. Okay.
Brilliant, thank you. So, obviously via Benefact Trust, you've had some funding for over here. So what do you think has been the real impact of the funding that we've been able to give you?
So thanks to Benefact Trust being able to fund our youth and community leads roles, it means that for me, I'm not constantly fighting for different projects to fund individual projects. It allows my team to just adjust and adapt and twist and turn to the needs of the community, needs of the young people, and deliver what they need and want, rather than finding funding to deliver a project. It's meant that we can just get on and do the job, and it gives us some sustainability because it's for a duration of time that's longer than a project. It gives us that breathing space to just deliver, responding to the needs, which to us as a youth-led, user-led, absolute at the heart of a community organisation, it's really important to be able to twist and turn, duck and dive. In my head, dodgeball is coming in. Sorry to make your job.
No, I think you include that bit.
To the needs of the community, because what are we if we're not doing that? And where we get project funding, it's great because actually we try and design those projects in line with the needs that we're seeing. But sometimes young people just need some sustainability. They just need a regular session where someone there, they can come, they can feel safe, they can feel that it's okay to be vulnerable with us. they can have a safe, secure, professional relationship with someone they choose and not someone they're told to be in a relationship with. So it's not a parent, it's not a teacher, it's not a mental health practitioner, it's not someone they've been court ordered to see.
Yeah.
It's somewhere they're choosing to come that is safe, that they can then access the support and provision and services that they want and need.
Yeah.
We're not experts at everything. We're not. So we work with partners, and it might be that actually a young person has been told they need to go and see an alcohol specialist because they're young and they're drinking too much and it's getting really risky. That young person is never going to willingly walk through the door of that alcohol service, but they willingly walk through the door of our youth service. So why not bring the alcohol service to the youth club? Because they do. They'll work with us in that way, and that way that young person is getting access to that support within the boundaries of that safe relationship, and they're able to access the support they need because of a youth club. Without Benefact's funding, those staff salaries would be dedicated to project staff time, where we wouldn't have the flexibility to do that in a way where as the needs present, we're able to adjust and actually deliver projects that are needed, rather than ones we're waiting 3 months to find out about.
Yeah. Brilliant, thank you. Just last thing I'm thinking of is we're sat in this wonderful building.
Yep.
That we had the greatest welcome from Babs when we came in, looking after us till you arrived. Just tell us a little bit more about what goes on in here, because I mean, probably for people looking on film, it looks like it is just a cafe.
Yep, so this is...
And there is a cafe.
There is a cafe.
What else is there here?
So this is an old church hall. It's still owned by the church. We lease it from them. It's called a community cafe, and it's because the community always come first. We are not here to make money. We are here to cover the costs and provide a service. The cafe brings people in because food does. Food connects people. It connects people in very beautiful ways. But this is so much more than a cafe. We deliver not only our youth club from this space, our pride work from this space, but we deliver one-to-one support with members of the community that may need additional support but not know where to go for it. They'll walk in here and they'll say a flippant comment to a member of staff and they're like, you need to speak to Annalise. You need to speak to so-and-so. We'll get you that support. We'll walk you through it. We'll hold your hand if that's what you need to be able to get that support. We serve all of the village and we are here for them and surrounding communities, because we serve the community we work in as well as serving food.
Brilliant. Thank you.